Hi, I am Taylor.
And I'm Nicole. Today we are talking about sports and why we love them, what we love, and we would love to know your favorite sports and if you watch them and if you play them.
And if you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, please leave us a review, a comment. I'd love to hear about it. If you want episodes early, you can sign up on glitterandcatlitter.com or on the YouTube channel if you like watching these, and we'll enjoy.
Glitter and cat litter.
Glitter and cat litter.
I grew up not watching sports at all.
No, you did not.
And roller skating was not completely considered a sport.
Look, roller skating is not a sport, okay?
Oh
You are not athletic.
my.
You don't do anything with your muscles.
If you cut it right there, you would get so much hate from the roller skating community because you're wrong.
I said what I said.
He doesn't believe that one bit.
Not even remotely.
Because roller skating is a sport and I'm very athletic.
It's unfortunate that it is a judgment sport, but they've made a lot of good changes that it's not quite as
Yeah.
judgy as
Judgy.
it used to be.
Yeah, it's
There are still
very
judges, but-
technical with how you get points now.
Which is a
Which-
good thing.
Is a very good thing, but the older community seems a little mad about it still, but
It's called change.
it is. You either embrace it or you don't. And I chose to embrace it. But roller skating aside, I did not watch any sports growing up.
Like commercial sports.
I feel like there just wasn't time to watch sports. Watching sports takes a lot of time.
If you devote your whole life to it, sure. But like also, Nicole, who watches Hallmark for 47 hours?
But I don't
A day?
watch it.
Mhm.
I guess you don't have to fully watch the sports, but like 2020, what year is it? Was it last year that I was watching too much? Or was it 2021?
I don't know.
I don't know. I started watching baseball in 2020 and I became slightly obsessed. And
Slightly is a massive understatement.
Taylor had to step in and be like, hey, Nicole, great that you want to watch every single baseball game. You need to work at some time in the day. Like you can't just sit and watch a baseball game. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
Well, then the baseball games were like 4 hours each.
True.
And you devoted the whole day to any team. It didn't matter the team. You were watching them anyway. And for anybody who doesn't know about baseball, there's 162 games a season.
It's a lot of games.
And the team that we support typically is always in the postseason. So you have you have more than 162 games a year that you're watching. So you watch baseball from April until November or till October.
Which is wonderful.
Right. And if they make it to the World Series, you literally watch until basically November,
Yeah.
which is awesome, except for the part where when there's a game every single day, someone doesn't get work done.
And even if it doesn't interrupt your work, it's usually at a time where you're like out with friends or having dinner or something. And so people would be like, yeah, let's hang out Thursday at 5. And I'd be like, can't, there's a baseball game.
It's like, oh, can you hang out tomorrow? Can't. There's a baseball game. Can you hang out the next day? Can't. There's a
Sorry.
baseball game. They play for the next 9 days straight. Okay. So I'm sorry.
I'll talk to you in 9 days. It's a bit much, but like, I really don't quite understand how, like Richard, for example, watches football, baseball. I don't know if there's anything else that he watches, but like, I know people that follow like hockey, baseball, football, college football, like a ton of different golf, like so many sports.
Well, Nicole and I, when we consume content, it is not, well, I guess let me put myself into this because you're going to say no. When I consume content, I really like to devote my time to it. With baseball, mostly the same, but also there's 162 guaranteed games that I can watch. So if I miss half or a full game or it's on silently while I'm doing other stuff, I'm okay with it sometimes, but I like to watch a game at least a couple times a week if I can. especially now in this time of year because it's basically over.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't have it for a few months. But then we have hockey now, so I actually kind of don't care that much. But there's only a couple hockey games a week, so those are more devoted. But most people don't, when they watch like even a TV show that they love, they're doing 40 other things while that TV show's on. And that's their consumption. So like you and I, where we would sit down as this is our break from the creation of everything that we're doing, people are doing everything that they're doing with that on next to it.
Got it.
Right? So like when people, but then also there's like people like Richard, like that's what he looks forward to most. Like he worked all day. He has nothing to do when he gets home. Like he's done, clocked out. He doesn't have to do it. He just goes and watches the game.
That's fair.
You know, and football is not every day like baseball. Football is like a 2.5 hour game. And it's like, it's you have Thursday night football. It might
Sunday?
be Friday as well. I don't
And
know.
Monday.
Clearly we don't like football. I know it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
That's a lot of days. Didn't it used to only be
It used to be
Sunday, Monday?
Sunday, Monday. I think it used to be sometimes it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Or maybe
That's
it was
so strange
Friday.
to me. Maybe
Sunday, Monday.
someday I will understand football.
I understand it. I just don't enjoy it.
I just don't quite understand it.
Doesn't get me excited.
There's also F1. Would you consider that a sport?
Yeah, it's a sport. But that doesn't mean I'm going to watch it. I like, the Netflix show really, really did something awesome. It made me excited about F1, but then it made me very not excited to watch the F1 season because last season we watched the season like live with F1 and then we watched the Netflix show and we knew what was going to happen in the Netflix show. And the Netflix show actually was more entertaining than watching the season live.
But it was kind of a bummer because we already knew what would happen.
Yep. So all of the things that were like these heightened excitement things that you were going to be like, oh, I don't know what happens. We were like, oh, we know what happens this race. This is this crash, this thing, that thing, all this. So now we get to see the behind the scenes. And it wasn't nearly as cool.
No. So this year we haven't watched any of them.
This year, if it doesn't show up on my Instagram feed, I know nothing.
Can we watch the Vegas one though?
Sure.
Because I just want to see like how, because we drove by the site where it will be when we were in Vegas, and I'm just so intrigued.
Oh, T-Mobile a couple of weeks ago offered like 10% off or something for tickets.
Oh, I don't want to go to it.
I don't really either. The car goes like this.
That doesn't seem that exciting to see in person.
I like the cameras of that one. But honestly though, that same argument probably goes very similarly to like watching hockey, where like the puck is so hard.
I love watching hockey in person. I love it.
There's more happening there than an F1 because they come around, but you get to see the cars 50 times. So there is that.
Fair.
Or 50 plus times.
As a person who grew up skating and still skates, hockey is so much fun to watch. I'm not there for the fights. I'm not there for all that. I'm there for their cross pulls and their pushing technique.
Yeah, you know the ones. Someone who is not a skater that is married to a skater, you know who's a good skater. And it's awesome. And then you know who's not a good skater, but somehow they're on the team and they pull their weight. And I don't understand it, but
some of the best players are not good skaters.
No, but then some of the really good players are the best skaters, and they just whoosh around everybody. It's like when you watch the Mighty Ducks movie, and they have the figure skaters come in, and they start doing all the spins and stuff, and they get around everybody.
Yeah.
I like that. So I'm gonna disclaim this a little bit and say I talk so much crap to any of my friends that are Angel fans, and
This is true.
I am going to continue throwing that shade at whoever is an Angels fan. Love you, don't love you. Your team is just not in a good place, man. And no buts. My family has had until this year they had season tickets, so like I was also an Angel fan. Still, I'm gonna be on the sidelines of this Angel fan situation. I like the Angels. I hate their management. And honestly, their team sucks. So I'm not really interested in watching or going to an Angel game because they're just going to lose. So why?
I really enjoyed going to Angel games. I miss it.
I don't miss it that much because we go to Dodger games. I'm also a Dodger fan, so everybody rolls their eyes and goes, "Well, of course you don't like the Angels, you like the Dodgers." I think that the
Angels.
Angels really got to do something to do better. I'm excited to see what happens with Otani. I'm not saying all of this to say that. I'm saying all of this to say I say all of these things about Angel fans and my friends that are Angel fans, and I'm a Ducks fan. And for anybody that knows anything about hockey, the Ducks are the Angels of hockey. So I am just eating my words every single time I say it, but honestly, it makes it more valid. So I'm going to keep saying the stupid things I do about the Angels,
Go
and
for
I'm going
it.
to keep liking the Ducks, who have not done well pretty much the whole time they've been a team. And honestly, I'm bummed that they don't use their original logo more.
That does bum me out because their original logo is dope.
Yeah, I'm not really a Halloween color guy. Like the black and
Yeah.
orange doesn't do it for me. The gold accents do it for me, but like you gotta put some more gold in there maybe, or just wear the retro jerseys all year.
Yeah, that'd
Like
be
that
fun.
white and that teal and that purple. Oh, chef's kiss that baby all over.
Going to games, I would say my favorite part about going to any sporting event is the food.
Okay.
So I like the Angels because their helmet nachos are better. They have better nachos.
Sure. When was the last time you got a nachos?
When we went with Ryan and Rachel to the Angel game.
So it's literally been more than a year.
Yeah. But their nachos are better. I haven't tried the new nachos at Dodgers.
Well, so now they might not be better.
Maybe I do that tomorrow.
How about you continue your thought?
I got distracted by nachos.
Mhm.
But what I also love about hockey, going to a hockey game, is your drink stays cold.
Yeah. When was the last time you got a beer that you
Last time we went to a
enjoyed?
hockey game.
Okay. That's also true, which was also 8 months ago
Yeah.
or more. Yeah, so, great. Cool. I don't go for the food really. I go for the hangs and the sport.
Fair.
I used to indulge a lot more in the food, and I still do, but it doesn't do it for me nearly as much as it did like a little, like, I don't know, 4 months ago and beyond.
That makes sense.
Although I have found at Dodger Stadium they have that like bowl. It's like a Mediterranean bowl. That's been great. It's kind of expensive, but like, what isn't at a baseball game.
Yeah.
So, but I used to love the nachos, man. I could go so hard on some nachos and like that, or like the hot dogs and stuff, but I honestly, it just recently I haven't been as stoked about it. Maybe it's because we've been having more of the like, or been branching out more at Disneyland with the foods that like I feel like Disneyland and sporting events are kind of very similar with food.
Yeah.
Like that's that similar, like quick, easy, good, also very cheap to get, but very
Yeah.
expensive to buy, or cheap to make, expensive to buy. And also not very nutritious.
No, not at all.
So they're, but that's kind of the charm of it. I did have peanuts the last time.
Uh-huh.
I meant to use my other hand there. Sorry.
When we
That was good. Those were good. Oh,
those were
man.
good.
I
When
could
we-
eat so many peanuts.
when we were doing keto, that was the most frustrating thing. Going to Disneyland and baseball games was horrible
Look,
because you couldn't eat anything.
anybody doing keto, more power to you. We did it for like 8-ish months,
Yeah.
8+ months. And man, while it was good for a little while, that is not a sustainable lifestyle, at least not for us. And for anybody that it is sustainable, good on you. That one doesn't work for us.
Not easy.
I like what we're doing now I like what we're doing now far better.
Yeah.
It works more. If you don't know, it's basically just lower calorie. That doesn't mean substituting
Anything.
higher calorie anything for a low calorie non-fat any solution. Sometimes we do. Most of the time we don't. You just monitor your portion size and make sure you eat enough of all the nutrients that you need in a day so that your body functions great.
The only thing that I buy that is like lower calorie,
The tortillas.
the tortillas
Yeah.
and yogurt.
Yeah, that works because
That yogurt's good.
Honestly, I think it's just because it's good. I don't think it's because, is it that much more calories when it's not?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean,
But I
like,
would like to do a direct comparison.
oh, it's going to taste like fake vanilla and then it's going to taste like real vanilla.
Well, I don't even get the vanilla. I get the like
Yes, you do.
honey one.
It's
I guess
literally
it's
honey vanilla. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. Brown cow, I think it's the one that I get. And every time I see it in the thing, I say, "Hey now, brown cow."
It's how now brown cow.
Oh. Wait, that's just like the episode when I said
Kiss up.
Kiss up. Scarlett, you said Scarlett said
did
it.
you know that today we're recording this right now, an hour ago, the promo posted.
That promo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But only on Twitter because that's the only one that we scheduled it for.
Oh,
so we
we gotta
haven't
do it.
posted the rest of them. Our phones.
That's
over
really
there.
funny.
We're also recording a podcast, so can't do it right now.
Do you want to know a fun fact? You already know the fun fact. I used to take lessons from a man who was obsessed with the Lakers, and Bob, he was obsessed with the Lakers.
Weird.
Probably still is. Why is that weird?
I don't know. Just doesn't strike me as a Laker guy.
Loves the Lakers. Lakers, everything. And he had season tickets to the Lakers, and he took me to a game. And after I think it was my second game to go with him, but that game was after I won the World Championships, and he had it put up on the Jumbotron or whatever that said, "Congratulations, Nicole, world champion." And I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. And that was before Kobe had passed away and all of that. Like, it was just like amazing to see Kobe play, and like just these big teams that were like big deals back then. I mean, they probably still are now, but I don't follow basketball now. But that was like really cool to see. But the highlight of any base or basketball game that I had ever been to was seeing that note on the Jumbotron for me.
So basically what you're saying is if the arena was empty and that was on the Jumbotron, it would have been the same.
Yeah. It
Cool.
would have been really cool.
Good to know. Good to know. Just put her name giant somewhere and she'll be stoked.
I sound like a really old person when I say this, but like basketball, it's fine for me to follow. There's a lot of points, and it's just like the high numbers. I'm like confused as to why they count so many.
What the hell
numbers.
about that makes you old?
No, but what I'm about to say, football, I don't like to watch because I can't see the ball.
What about that makes you feel old?
I just feel like I hear a lot of old people say that.
Think about all the old people that like football. Think about all the old people that like any sort of sport. Baseball has like one of the smallest balls, or golf. Why you got to discriminate against the old people?
Because I feel like a lot of old people say that.
I feel like you're being pretty rude.
Okay. My apologies to old people.
Also, what do you qualify old? You?
I don't know. Old is old for me.
So you.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, football, I can't see the ball. The whole point is like to hide it under your arm and run and then throw it to somebody else. And I cannot follow it. What are you shaking your head at?
That's not the point. That's not how football works. They
Okay,
don't hide it under their arm.
They hold it under their arm.
They hold it in their arm because it's the safest way. It doesn't fall out of your arm. Because when you hold it here, it's like locked in. Otherwise, it can be stripped away. If you hold it like this, somebody goes, and
That would be really funny to just hold it.
You also can't run fast if both arms are out. God, hide it under your arm. You're a monster.
When you watch golf in person, do you have to walk to each?
Probably. We got to ask Eddie.
I don't think he goes and watches
He
golf.
went to the PGA.
Really?
I think so. Or unless that was when he broke his foot. Maybe don't ask him. That might be a sore topic.
I'm going to ask him.
Okay, ask him. We'll see him Friday. No, the football one, I just don't like football. There's something about it that I just don't resonate with. And I love the Super Bowl parties, but it's more for the hangs and like, I actually don't care at all about the halftime show. Everybody's always obsessed with it. I know you do, but I just don't care. Like
Rihanna.
It's fine, but it's also like great. It's a bunch of performance that matters, but also doesn't matter at all. So whatever.
I just like I appreciate every sport. I appreciate what the athletes do. And I think that I cried so much last night watching baseball.
Oh yeah,
Which sounds so ridiculous, but Brewstar Gratterall, his mom was there, and he hadn't seen his mom in person in 7 years, and it was the first time she was watching him pitch in the major leagues, and it was just so special, and it was such a moment. And it's like sports are like awesome and energetic and like all of that, but it's also so emotional because these people are putting so much work into this thing, and we for like our pleasure. And theirs as well because, they get paid. They want to do well. It's their passion. But, well, you would hope. But it's like there are so many different levels to sports. And like you grew up playing sports. I grew up roller skating.
I grew up playing mostly baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I did like a year. I'm not fast. That's been my problem. I'm not a very fast runner. I mean, I might be more now because I'm stronger. I mean, I probably would have to like train it a little bit more to like try, but I was always really slow. Did I interrupt your thought? I was okay. Yeah, no, I am not fast. I don't know what the speed is to go to like first base or what a good like 40-yard dash is. Your boy is in the bottom half.
We
at
should
least
test it.
Okay.
I think
I
you're
gotta
faster
warm up.
than me.
I gotta warm up first now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we started playing tennis recently. I like tennis. We played pickleball once. If you follow us on the internet, you saw that I played pickleball in jeans. That went well. I was warm. My excuse is that I needed something to hold me back from how good I am. I would also say that I had zero intent to play when we went. And then I was like, oh, that actually kind of looks kind of fun. Why don't I play?
The holding back didn't work because you won.
No, yeah, I won all the games. I'm 3-0.
Wow.
I think, right? Maybe not. Might be 2-1, 3-0. I don't know. Anyway, we've been playing pickleball and tennis, mostly tennis. And I didn't warm up one day or like stretch or anything before we just full sent it in tennis. And she's not very good at knowing how to guide the ball in a direction yet. And so I have to basically run the width of the court constantly to get the ball.
Also, the point was cardio, so you're welcome.
Yeah, it's not good for you though, because I hit it right back to you, even though I'm sprinting and I...
Hardly.
Okay, sometimes I do. I'm a lot better than you.
I think he has a false sense of confidence in this.
This is not true.
No, I do have footage. He is better.
I'm a lot better at tennis than you. I ran full speed, stopped, hit the ball, and I felt my calf pull. And I went, oh, that's not good. And then I stretched it a little and kept playing, and I think I pulled it a little bit. But we're good now. That was like less than a week ago, and we're literally totally good. I'm good. But like all that to say, I definitely need to warm up now if I'm gonna do stuff like that. Like I can't just go.
Also, I feel like you've started warming up when we go lift weights and stuff a little bit more.
Yeah, because I pulled my calf. And I can't do leg exercises with a pulled calf.
But everyone has told us, everyone's been like, you guys are insane because like we'll just roll into the gym and start.
Let's go.
That's probably not
Let's go.
Great.
Let's go.
But I do that with skating too, and that's not great.
It served you well so far, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, when
Sounds
I trained, I would like stretch a little bit and warm up. Like jump roping is good. That's what I've been doing at the gym.
Yeah, I started. Well, I also figured that part of my warm up is the farmer carries to get our weights from the car to the gym, which is today is a rough one. We bring the 35 pounds and the 25-pound dumbbells. Man, I'm thankful my traps aren't bigger. I don't want big traps, but I feel like they're gonna rip off every time I grab the 35-pound weights. Remember the one time the security guy was like, how heavy are those weights? And you were like 25 pounds. And he was like, oh, man, they look way heavier. And I'm like, that is the most damn it. I'm like, that is so insulting, but like, I get it. But I'm like,
But they look big.
God. I think
He wasn't meaning like you were carrying them.
I
like they were
took
very
it.
heavy.
I took it like I'm carrying them heavy. Could be
Maybe.
the case.
I carried the 25. And do you remember the older man that was like, oh, what did he say?
I don't know. I don't remember this at all.
I said, oh, because his voice was literally like that. He's like, she's a health nut. That's what he said. Oh, she's a health nut. And I'm like holding the weights. He's holding the gate open for me, which I was like, thank you. And then he said that to his like grandson. And his grandson was like, whoa, yeah. And I was like, what? I was so confused.
That is such a wild statement. I will say I do intentionally carry all of the weights when I farmer carry them in a position that like actually like hold.
Yeah.
I don't just like let my arms fall. I like bend a little and like try to like be
Brace.
extra tight and make it worth my time to carry them instead of just carrying them to the gym.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, if you think we're absolutely monsters that have to bring our own weights to like a public gym that we pay for, no. Our community that we live in has a small gym but doesn't have the right weight sizes for us.
Yeah.
So we bought our own interchangeable weights, and that's what we take to the gym. So we're not that crazy. That would be next level. Just absolutely stupid. Go to a gym that has all the sizes and you don't use them. Bring your own. Gosh.
Bring your own weights.
No,
none of that. But we probably do look a little crazy bringing all that into the gym. But people who go there regularly understand.
Yeah, I don't care about the people that don't. The people that are in the pool waiting with their cooler next to them, drinking beer.
They look fun.
Great. I'm still going to carry my weights into the gym and go exercise and then leave.
That is one of the weirdest feelings. Like all summer, we were walking into the gym every day, and there was this group of people that I'm sure are a super fun time. They look like it, but they every day during the summer, not just the weekends, like almost every day, they had a huge cooler by the side of the pool. And it was like 3 people. It was 2 ladies, 1 guy. And they were just like chilling in the pool and like just outside the pool all day for hours, drinking,
enjoying.
Playing music. They had a speaker. It just looked like so much fun. And here we are walking our butts over to the gym every day, carrying all our weights and stuff. And they would just look at us like, and I'm like, we're both like equally doing our thing, having fun. I would say I have fun going to the gym, but
I don't not have fun.
It's a very different kind of fun from what they were having.
One leaves a stomach smaller.
Hopefully.
Me.
Not for me. My stomach's gotten bigger with muscle.
What did I call you yesterday? A loaf?
I was like, that is the most insulting thing.
I meant
loaf?
it. I didn't mean it to be insult.
A loaf of bread.
Okay, hold on.
I just bought a loaf of bread.
Okay, hold on. So
yeah, explain yourself.
Okay. Yes, public explanations are the perfect place for this one. So she was talking about how much stronger and how she's starting to see your like stomach definition that you're looking for, that you're hoping for and aiming for. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, but you still are a little bit like a loaf. And as I said it, I was like, well, yeah, it's not the most polite thing I could possibly say, but also like it's true.
I can't. And I was about to eat a cinnamon roll when he said this.
And I was like, I didn't mean it. I do feel bad for saying it because I don't want you to feel like bad about it. But like
this is a huge topic on its own that we at some point I think could get into. But like I feel like we have to be weary about how we explain it and how we talk about it, because Taylor and I are very open and honest with each other about like how we look, how we feel type of thing. Like if I ask him, does this dress make me look fat or something like that, I wholeheartedly expect the truth. Like, and I want the truth because I am literally asking. I'm not asking out of like, please just tell me I'm pretty. If I want that, I have to explicitly say that. Like,
look,
please tell me I'm pretty.
If I'm ever with you in person, everyone, all the yous, not just Nicole. If you're going to ask me a question and that is not the question you want the answer to, you asked me the wrong question. If you are going to ask me, do you look fat in this outfit? You are going to get my answer. If you wanted, do I look good in this outfit? You'll get that answer too. So don't ask, does this dress make me look fat and expect me to say, you look great. You asked the wrong question. Ask me the right question that's directly toward it. I'm not going to read your mind. I straight up don't care. And if you ask me the question, you clearly know enough to be able to ask for something from me. So I'm going to give you what you asked.
And I fully respect that. And I appreciate that, because I think too many of us like dance around the answer of like, no, maybe you should try something else. If you're not feeling like good in that outfit, if you need to ask that question, like probably change the outfit. But me as a woman, like I know when I'm feeling uncomfortable, and that's usually when I ask that.
Let's pause that right there. That is not solely to women, but
No,
it is
true.
shined at women. I can tell you more often than not, I'm uncomfortable in what I'm wearing than you're uncomfortable in what you're wearing. Or I will feel it more, but I won't say it because I'm a guy and I'm supposed to be okay.
Yeah.
So
which
it's
is
very much so not the case.
Like I said, bigger conversation. But where was I going with this? Oh, but the loaf. I was like, what? Like, first of all, just so confused. And then I was like, that is very insulting, but I don't really know how or why that is so insulting.
There's no good explanation on that. I don't have a good reason.
You meant I was like thick?
It feels perfectly descriptive.
It does, but I still have so many questions.
Dense.
But
that feels way more rude for some reason. Because look, if you go, you look dense. That's like, whoa, okay, hold on. There's layers in that one that feel like... I am
pretty dense, though.
Yeah, sure. But like saying, you look pretty dense, that's like, oh, I don't know. That's kind of... That could go a lot of different ways. But then it's like when I said loaf, I also not good. But like I said loaf and I was like, well, I said what I said. So we're not getting out of that. But I don't...
No, it's a good description.
Yeah. So, okay, well, to elaborate on you explaining like our communication and openness, I don't say any of this ever with animosity, or like if she's in a weird spot or something, I'm not going to just like slam her with how she looks or like something that could be rude or could hurt her feelings. Like I'm not going to
use a bad word, but like you're not mean about it.
No, it's not. And we're very good about being open and honest about that. And through our whole health transition and like focus on health, it's been overspotlight. I
don't know that that's a word, but
overemphasized.
Yeah.
So we've been very aware of the very small incremental changes that we've made, and it's been very focused and poignant. And so for me to say loaf did not feel at any form outside or like left field. It felt like pretty straightforward to our conversations anyway, because we're focused on it so hard.
But to other people, that probably is
to other people,
awful.
But also like, most people perceive conversation of other relationships in the way that their relationship is, or the way that they perceive their relationship. So like if your relationship is not the same openness as ours, doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it worse, doesn't make it better than ours, but it's just a different openness and a different type of communication, then that would mean that you are not going to receive a statement of you look like a loaf in the same way that you receive it, because you received it laughing hysterically and then said that it was could be mean. And I was like, didn't cross my mind before I said it, but it did as I said it.
I laughed, like truly laughed for about a minute. And then I went, that is so insulting.
Yeah, but I was like, well, I also was kind of like, well, if that doesn't help inspire you, I don't know what will. like, get there.
I used to laugh at I think it was Natalie used to say in certain outfits she looked like a door. And
a door?
A door. I think it was Natalie. But it makes sense.
How do you look like a door?
It makes sense at that point when she was that age because she like if you're not super curvy and you're just like straight down and you're thin, that's what we were explaining. But I used to think that was such a weird description. I was like,
it doesn't change
a door. I've never thought of anyone looking like a door, but I was like, I get what you're saying, but also no.
A board would have been the appropriate.
Okay.
Reason I'm going to go with the flaw in this here. And I mean, I guess anybody that wants to fight me on this, sure. I'm going to say a door does not translate appropriately because a door is like always like 3 feet wide. So what are you, super broad and stick thin? That's what I think of when I think of a door.
Okay.
But when I think of like a board also doesn't seem like the right thing. I was going to say like a plank of wood or like a plank. Like that makes more sense. But then like a plank is like a weird word.
Yeah.
So door works, but like it doesn't. Also the doors in I think most homes are like the weird, like they have the curvy shapes on them. They're never like flat. So like, what do you got, like weird lumps on your...
Hopefully not. But okay, while we're speaking about bodies, oh my goodness. Okay, we're big baseball people, and the baseball bodies are so weird.
Oh, you're saying this because the picture of Clayton Kershaw that's going around?
No, I saw that live. I didn't see anything going around.
What's what you saw live going around the internet with memes of that's peak athleticism?
It is like it. Okay, let's give 2 examples here. And if you don't know who we're talking about, that's totally fine. But Google what they look like. So Max Muncy, he is. Everyone has said it. Like the trainers, everyone is like he is the best athlete.
Well, I think not quite.
Maybe not anymore.
But
who I'm going to compare him to is probably the best athlete. But Max Muncy appears to be like a bigger man.
Husky. Yeah.
And he, I think, is just solid muscle.
Well, there is fat, but he's
solid.
Very strong.
Dense.
It's a lot. That's a dense human. And in the most positive, polite way possible. That dude is shredded under there.
But everyone talks about him vocalizes like that he's fat.
Only not people around surrounded by the team.
No.
Public.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very interesting to like witness that and how people perceive other bodies, and especially in sports because it is so highlighted of like your athleticism and what you are doing with your body. But then there's like James Outman, who I am amazed by this man's quads. Like
Me too.
I am obsessed with them, which sounds ridiculous, but
me too.
It's not in a like, oh my gosh, I find that so attractive way. It's a like, oh my gosh, how does your body do that?
Like, how is there so much muscle?
His legs, when he walks, and especially when he runs, they literally go and lock into place. Like his muscle moves and then locks into place. And it is astonishing.
I don't know what that training looks like to make your quads do that, but I've never seen. I guess I don't watch enough football. I imagine that happens a lot in football too. That would be my guess. Or maybe the pants in football don't show that same looseness, so it's too like constricting.
I guess so.
Maybe. I don't know. I fully agree with this. And every time we go to a baseball game and he's walking out to go hit or whatever, we show everyone, and everyone is always like, "Holy crap, that is insane!" And I'm like, dude, he is so ripped. And I will say that if you watch baseball ever or look at anything from baseball, some of these players are so shredded.
Yeah.
But the uniforms are the literal most flattering for muscle ever.
Yeah.
Nothing about the tight pants don't help, even if you wear them. The tight pants don't help. The loose pants don't help. Not a single size of the jersey that you can put on will showcase how strong you are, ever.
Yeah.
Like, some of these dudes, like, after they, like, win, they take their, like, jersey off or whatever, and they're in, like, their undershirt that's tight, and they're just, like, solid muscle. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
How does in the jersey you just like a normal dude?
Like a dad.
Like a dad. And then you take it off and you're just full like Hulk.
It's amazing.
Or like Captain America muscle. You're like, what?
But also, like, on the flip side, you never know how strong someone is. Like, speaking about actual muscle, sometimes it doesn't show. Like,
yeah.
if you put, okay, so me against you, or like even me against someone who is like big and shredded and like gym muscle strong, I think I could leg press more than a lot of the guys at the gym.
Oh, no question. Yeah, I wouldn't
And it's
even.
because my skating has like built up over years, just like muscle, just straight up muscle. And so like I would say my legs don't look super strong.
Everyone is going to argue with that, but I also agree.
Like, I mean, we're all on Instagram. We're all on the internet. Like, there are women who appear to be very, very strong.
Well, I think there's also something that we need to reiterate is we are, one, nitpicking. Two,
yes,
we're looking at like, sorry that I like have a lot of spit in my mouth. That really bothered me. We're looking at like peak athleticism people, like absolute world-class athletes, like solid muscle, train every day all year long for like the last 10 years. That's what you're comparing to. But if you remove all of that,
but also that's what I would consider myself.
But as you are saying, like an average person that goes to the gym that might have a lot of muscle, that's a horrible comparison to like leg pressing. I mean, it's a comparison that makes sense because like we actually know people that do that. But like you to say that like your comparison is you don't have leg muscle because you're comparing it to someone who is like more focused on making their legs bigger because it's literally their life's work, or you're focusing on
I'm saying like there's real life muscle and there's like beauty muscle.
Right. That shouldn't be new.
No, but I think it is. Because like in my past, I would see people with like really beautifully shaped muscle.
Those are gym muscles.
And be like, oh my gosh, they're so strong. They're probably so much stronger than me.
Can't lift a 10-pound box.
Well, some can, but
you'd be surprised at who can't.
But I'm saying like you never actually know how strong or in shape someone is. Like some of the people that look super in shape eat terribly and are not healthy.
Yeah, the functional strength is what you should functional strength because you can have the form and the muscles that look really pretty, but then you can also do nothing that is functional strength.
Yeah.
Like the majority of what we do is functional strength training, not gym muscle strength training. And luckily for the things that we train in, it's very functional strength towards what we do and really towards what I do, which is like carrying stuff loaded on me, like cameras and stuff. But the functional strength makes the difference. Like you could see, I also don't ever care to compete with someone about how much I could lift or something. Like it literally could not matter any less to me.
Competition
it is not my thing. But functional strength is what you're referring to more. That's the most, I like gym muscles are awesome. They look great to a degree to me. There's a certain point of no return that it looks just absolutely crazy. But honestly, some people absolutely love that and that's totally fine. But for me, I'm like, let's show muscle, make sure it's useful. If it's not useful, I don't need it and I don't want it. Because if I can't lift like this table that we're sitting at and I have more muscle than I have now, why is the muscle even there? Like, what is the point?
And also like on the flip side, if you don't love playing sports, you don't love working out, like just be healthy. Like you don't
Right.
have
Yeah,
to work out an hour a day to be healthy. Like not at all.
Well, maybe. But
You
you,
need to
you need to be
move.
active
Yeah.
for an hour a day.
But you
Yeah.
don't need to like lift weights and do an elliptical. Like you can move, you can walk, you can,
That's true. That's
there's
very
a
true.
lot of things. But back to competitiveness.
Yeah.
I want to come back to that
Okay.
because I think it is so interesting, the psychology behind the side of being the athlete as well as the side of watching sports. Like playing the sports, watching the sports. I think the competitiveness is so interesting and so intriguing because you have gotten like on me when I say we, like I'm part of the team.
That drives me absolutely insane.
And I don't mean to say it because that does drive me crazy too. But I
do it too.
I get it. Like I have been the athlete. I've been on that side and I get the psychology of it and all of that, everything that goes into it. And me watching sports, I think the reason I love watching sports is because when I can like kind of get to know the player or the person and like understand them, obviously I don't know them, but like kind of understand them, I can feel what they're feeling. And that's why like my heart rate goes up so much when I'm watching sports and I'm like, I feel like I'm in it.
No, your heart rate goes up when you're watching sports because you are just inherently athletic and competitive. It has nothing to do with you liking the person. It has nothing to do with
but
you
I feel like
knowing the
I'm in
person.
it.
No, Nicole, you turn on random, never seen the sport before Olympics. Your heart rate's at like 150 before you know it. You don't know anything about the sport. You barely know what's going on. You only know the scores.
Fair. Yes.
It is competitive. It is competition for you.
Yes. But I'm still, what I'm saying is correct because I'm like in it with them. It is
Sure.
nice when I can like get to know them a little bit more. Like when I follow a team or follow baseball. But yeah, I said that for the Dodgers the other day. I was like, well, we're doing this. And Taylor's like, oh, are you on the team?
Yeah, I looked at her and I said, so you're on the team now, huh? So what's the payroll look like for that? Does that get involved in here? She goes, no, you know what I mean. I'm like, yes, I know what you mean, but you are not a part of this we unless you're involved.
But like, I feel like when people watch sports and follow a team, like they feel like they're on the team. That's part of it.
Well, I mean, that's why sports are popular. That's why
amazing.
people like sports. People like to be a part of something. Like people want to be a part of something. Like you want to be a part of something.
I do.
I want to be a part of something.
That's
The
amazing.
my argument for why I don't like the we is exactly why the we is valid. It's why it
Right.
makes sense. It's because we, the collective, the fans, the team, the everything, it works. It's we. But I don't like it in the sense of like the ownership of like how the team's doing. Like you cannot be the fan or like you cannot show up and that team will have played exactly the same whether you were there or not.
I really
Right? But
hate
like
that like the team losing can ruin someone's day.
you know, but also what do they have outside of that? If that's their one thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I
But
just like, I hate that.
I do too, but some people only have that. Some people that's their
True.
only thing.
And
I don't
honestly,
think that's okay for you to let it ruin your day.
like I'm not saying you've done that in the past, but you've gotten like, you have a bummer hour like after the team loses.
Not anymore. I used to.
And I was like, dude, you can't do anything about that. Like,
Yeah,
you're not playing.
There was a couple years. Well, no, it was really only we had a couple years when we first got back into baseball that I was like really invested, but it was kind of the pendulum of like I wasn't invested for a long time and then I got overly invested and then now I'm like very invested still, but emotionally it's not going to affect me if they win or lose. Like the other night they lost or something and it was like a really bad loss and I was like, wow, that was horrible. I was like, it was good until it wasn't. I was like, okay, well, I got to go do something else now. Goodbye.
I got pretty aggressive last year with the World Series stuff.
Yeah, you were pretty mean about it too, to some people.
But I was like, I was pretty aggressive during that time period anyway, just unrelated to sports. Something was going on with me. But I got pretty aggressive.
Yeah, last October, if you were a Padres fan, Nicole probably like ripped your head off. I still don't like you, but like I'm not going to rip your head off over it. No, now I just kind of laugh because I'm like, oh, if you're a Padres fan right now, you are just eating any of your words this season. That sucks.
I got passionate.
That's the best part about it, is like being passionate and stuff. Let me clarify the Padres thing. Is anybody that is a Padres fan, honestly, look, I think y'all got a little too big for your britches too fast. You got a really dope team that should be doing really dope things. They're not doing the really dope things, but y'all are talking too much stuff against everybody.
Yes.
Like, look,
Okay.
love competition, love it all. You don't need to hate on everybody, especially Dodgers fans. You don't need to be like the little brother syndrome of being like the most aggressive. Yeah, you won. And then now that your team sucks, you're still going to be aggressive and say, yeah, you won. I'm like, look, we all have teams. They all go through good and bad years. The Dodgers
We're not on any of them.
Yeah, we're not on any of them. We're not invested. Also, like the Dodgers hadn't won a World Series since like 80 something until
I don't know.
2020. It was like 80 something and then 2020. So like y'all have your time. You're going to win. It's going to go really great. You're going to be able to say some stuff to other teams. But like y'all still don't have to be mean about it.
The BLA chants are my least favorite thing ever. Because I'm like,
You could say go your
yeah,
team.
vote, cheer your team on. Don't say beat the other person. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's have some respect for ourselves. That one makes me mad. Like, even if I wasn't a Dodgers fan, I'd be like, what? Why are we yelling that?
Yeah, it's almost like a war chant.
Yeah.
That one gets like aggressive, and like what I don't like the most about it is we've been at some of the games when those chants have happened, and the fans, instead of getting like amped and pumped for their team, they get aggressively negative towards the fans of the other team. And you're
I don't like
you're
that.
like, oh, timeout. I'm here paying just as much as you to enjoy watching our favorite teams play against each other, and one of them's going to win and one of them's going to lose. It's called sports. You know, it goes one way or the other. It's going to happen. We're going to see a bunch of games, and either they're going to win or they're going to lose. That's how it works. And you'll either make it or you won't. And if you don't, then next year might be your year. And if it's not, then give it a few more and it'll happen again. Look at like the Red Sox and the Cubs and all these teams that had like 20-year droughts, and then they're the best team ever. It happens to everybody.
Was a really good way of explaining sports. Good job.
Look at that. Guy who doesn't like sports knows how to explain sports. Well, I like sports
beautiful.
now, but
I like sports now. Also, yeah, like everything in life, Taylor and I were just thinking about this and just talking about this. It's like you go through phases and you grow and you change as a human, and like swearing that you don't like something and like, oh, I don't like this, I'm never going to like this, usually comes back to bite you in the butt. Like,
well, you don't have to make it negative.
No, but we were experiencing that
With what?
I don't remember what we were talking about. But like, I don't know. There have been so many things that I've been like negative about in life, and then I end up liking it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't been so negative about that.
Yeah, I've done that with a few things. Like, I remember when I was a teenager, I thought electronic music was the stupidest thing on the whole planet. And I'm over here, and that's what I focus most of my time and energy on. And I love it, and I'm obsessed with it. And I'm like, literally 15 to 17-year-old Taylor would be disgusted by me. But everything about me. Hated cameras, hated electronic music. Metal music was the only music that was okay. Mostly.
Yeah.
And now I'm the opposite.
It's so funny to like look back.
Or like
at that.
not liking the outdoors.
Yeah.
And then now I'm totally fine with the outdoors or going outside or exercise. People I've talked about it enough now. I feel like people aren't surprised anymore. But like, man, people are like, you exercise? What? And I'm like, makes perfect sense. I know. If you've known me for any length of time, you're like, exercise. So how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I agree. Same. I thought the same thing for a long time.
Strange.
So, outdoors is the next one. How long is that going to last? I don't know.
Maybe we'll even like football.
Ooh, that's a rough one. I honestly, my thing with football is I keep trying to get into soccer too. I keep trying to want to get into soccer because I have some friends that really like soccer, that are really big soccer fans. And there's just something about it that it doesn't resonate with me the same. I don't know. It's not the like exaggerative falling over and they didn't actually get hurt. I don't mind that. Like, whatever, that's fine. I feel like a lot of sports have scary stuff that happens. Soccer, it's just part of the sport. So it's annoying, but like, it's not the end of the world.
I am really glad we went to an FC Barcelona game.
That was really dope to see like I can't say real. A really big, like a world stage soccer game. Football game. I actually didn't know, full disclaimer, I had zero clue how big of a team FC Barcelona was. I had never heard of them until we went to Barcelona and we were looking at soccer. I knew Real Madrid. And
I think I knew that it was a big team.
I had zero idea. I literally never had heard of them, never had seen their logo. I knew who Messi was, but I didn't know that he was on Barcelona. I had no clue, which is so crazy. And then
Messi's on Miami.
He's on Inter Miami now, which is David Beckham's team. But so it's very interesting. Like, I'm super open to it. I'm willing to go see like whatever type of sport. Like, tennis is one that I never cared to like watch or whatever. But like, my grandma used to love watching it, so I'd be at the house and it would always be on. And I actually have very fond memories of hearing like the rally of tennis and like hearing them serve and stuff. I remember watching like Andre Agassi,
grunting,
Andre Agassi, and like Federer, and I don't remember. There's some other ones that she loved that we would always watch. But like, golf is one that like I enjoy playing golf occasionally. I don't care to watch it so much. It's entertaining and I'm invested, but I think it's too chill for me.
I like that there are so many sports that are so different. Like, you don't like any of the fighting ones, like MMA
I'm
and stuff. You don't like
not.
that. I am intrigued by it.
The talent's cool. I don't like watching people fight.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I don't want to see I don't need to see the violence. That doesn't get me going.
See, that's another thing that like I grew up learning karate. And like, I didn't take it very seriously, but my dad was like an 8th degree black belt, like highest ranked in Kempo karate, which is like such a sleeper fact that's like a thing. But yeah, so he tried to train us all in karate, and I wish I had taken it more seriously and learned more, because it was really interesting. And it is that's another thing that's a sport that I like didn't consider a sport. I don't know. I didn't even know that we were like athletic at all, aside from being creative. It was just all
I was just
like,
going to say, I think it's a really interesting insight. Did I interrupt you like way in your thought? No. Okay. It's a really interesting insight that like how differently like your family, or really the whole community that your family and everybody has been around.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how little they're aware of any of the traits that they have of themselves. Yeah. And then it makes me wonder how much of the world, or how many people really have no idea how actually creative they are, or actually athletic they are, actually active they are, just because they're like, no, I just do it.
It's just what I do.
It's just my thing. And it's
because that's like pretty normal to me to be like, no, it's just what I do. Like,
right.
It's just a thing that I do every day.
Right.
It's not, I don't know. It's so strange, but like fighting sports and like boxing, stuff like that, I find really interesting because I understand the technique behind it and like what they are trying to do. But because it's not all about violence. Like,
right.
It is, but it isn't.
Right.
And I find that interesting. But yeah, just like the psychology behind all of it, I find so fascinating behind sports and why we do sports. And like, as a fan of watching sports, having something to look forward to, like that baseball is so fun because you have something to look forward to almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you follow multiple teams, probably every day. And then it's the holidays. Like when I got into baseball, I was like, this is perfection because it's like done by the time you have like holiday parties and like events to go to. And so it's like, okay, that is your thing to look forward to. And then you have the holidays to look forward to. And then hockey, if you do hockey too, that's like in that interim part, right?
Hockey's November to April.
Perfect. So it's like there's always something to look forward to. And if you need that in your life, fantastic.
Or sorry, hockey's October to April.
If you don't need that and you just enjoy it, even better. Like it's just fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. It bothers me actually that I don't like soccer. I don't know why.
I get that.
I want to like it and I just don't care.
That's me with football this time around. I'm like, oh, these people are so excited about it. And my friends are so stoked. And I'm just like, I don't have that for football.
I think there's something, for me, I think the biggest turn off or the biggest thing that I might that keeps me away from football is how overly invested the fans are and how aggressive any of our fans that are big fans are.
But I think that people are like that about any team that they follow.
But for some reason, it's not the same with baseball and hockey. It's not the same. Same with soccer. The aggressiveness of the fans towards the team you like and the amount of
I guess.
The amount of talk, banter between you liking a specific team or not. I don't know why, but it's very much so I think that's what keeps me away from it a bit. And I also think the ease and the gamifying of fantasy football is such a cultural thing in the US, and it's such a big deal that I'm I just don't want or need another thing to pay attention to. I already don't do enough of the stuff that I should be paying attention to. And then to have people that are aggressively competitive about the team that they've made and whether they're winning money or whatever the whole fantasy thing is. I'm just look, I've done it. I've tried it. I literally won the fantasy league that I was in last year.
Which was a big deal because he did not pay attention.
Literally, let me put it this way. For any of you that are doing fantasy, auto draft and don't care. You'll win. I promise. Every time. You're going to overthink it. You're going to do it wrong. Do it on automatic. You'll do fine. And so but it wasn't enjoyable, and I literally didn't watch any games till the end of the season intentionally because I was so I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't care. Just this is a game now, so it needs to be off points. I don't need to know any other BS. I don't need to read into anybody. I don't want any predictions because the predictions are as useful as my coffee was full 2 hours ago. Is it going to be full in an hour? Maybe.
I have a request for Netflix. Please make an enjoyable TV show about football.
They already do.
What?
They have the untold documentaries of some of the football.
No, I've watched some of that.
The Gator one is sweet. The Florida Gators one, I watched two episodes. I watched an episode or two with Garrett. They're so cool.
Okay, make a Drive to Survive or they've made a tennis one. They've made a golf one. Those are great. They need to do something because that works for me.
Nah. Don't do it because then she's going to just be a football nerd and all sorts of, I can't take it. I won't take it. I'm not going to do it.
I won't take it.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay, well, what about if you get into soccer?
I'm not going to get into soccer. I'm saying I don't like that I don't like soccer, which is kind of backwards. I don't like that I don't like it. I also think it frustrates me that I don't like soccer because I like hockey, and honestly, the rules and all of that are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but hockey skating.
That has nothing.
Running.
I don't give a rat's butt about skating versus running.
I do.
It doesn't matter to me.
Did you grow up playing soccer at all?
Let's go back to the beginning of this. Taylor is a very slow runner.
Yeah, I know, but
Taylor played one season of soccer.
See, okay, you did.
Hold, please. Taylor got a participation award for being on the team and just putting in the effort before participation awards were a thing. For seriously, I'm not joking. For seriously, I'm not joking. I got a participation award because they forgot to award me something. The last day of the last party, I got something and I was like, why am I getting that? As a child, I was 7 or 8 or something. I was like, why am I getting this? I remember asking my parents, why do I have this? I am the worst person on this team. I was like, this doesn't make any sense that I was given this.
That is so sad.
But straight up, the coaches forgot me. They forgot to award me something because they were supposed to award everybody with something that they were good at about the team to help,
Yeah.
garner that you're a child, like make
Yeah.
you care about the sport a little bit more, make you try harder. And I was just not good at soccer.
This is a rough one because okay, so I know that a lot of people listening to this probably have children and probably are like sick of taking their kid to sporting things because it must be exhausting to like go to practices and games and all that and keep
Not if
up
you're
with all of
passionate
it.
about it.
True. But as a kid, like I never got any sort of participation thing of like a, hey, good job, you did the thing. I was awful at skating. Like I wasn't awful at skating. I was a decent skater, but like I started competing at 4 years old and I lost everything. I got last. Like I worked my way up from the bottom and that was like our game. That was our thing. Like my mom and I would look at the list and see how close to the bottom and if I got higher than the last time, like further from the bottom. So we literally worked our way up. And I didn't win anything until I was 11 or 12. And that's young, but that from 4, competing with the same people.
8 years.
It took me a while to make it to the top. And I didn't stay at the top. Like that was that. And then I moved to the next division and had a few new people to compete against. And then like, I think it's a good thing to lose. And I think it's a good thing to not be awesome at something and work hard for it. So I appreciate that. I didn't like it at the time. I'll tell you that.
I also wasn't good at basketball. I did like 1 season of basketball too. I was good at shooting. I wasn't good at the team aspect of it. I didn't understand.
To pass
like,
it?
No. Not that part. That part's the easy concept. It was the dynamic of the positions and how it was like anamorphous kind of, and like you go in it all didn't connect. And luckily I played when it was like when everybody was like the same height and you're all the same age, so nobody had grown into like being basketball height yet. But I was pretty good at accuracy and like shooting the ball, but that was like it. Like outside of that, I wasn't very good at basketball. I could dribble, but like I was slow. So like, but I wasn't like extra. I didn't have like a lot of extra dexterity and like dribbling and stuff. So like I could only do so much. And then I was always terrified to shoot.
Do they lower the nets?
Yeah, they were like, I think his standard net is 12 feet.
Because you said we were all the same height, and I was like,
well, I
that
think
would be so daunting.
I think the nets were like, I think they were like 9 or 10 feet. It's like high. Like you can't jump up there at 12. Like you jump up and like barely touch the net.
Because all of that, like, that's another thing. Like, I look back at video of me skating in like competitions, and I am trying to make my little butt get around the floor so hard. Like, I'm trying to push so hard. And like, I tell people this, I didn't actually learn how to push. They tried to teach me. It didn't click. It didn't connect until I was about 13 of how to get power out of my legs. But they don't make the floor smaller.
You just have to make it work. Yeah.
You have to make it work. But like in baseball, they make the field smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Like little league fields are smaller, but they're still so big. Like
the little league ones are quite small. When you go to like an actual little league one and you see the position, like the bases, they're not that big.
Like the Little League World Series, is that a little league field?
Yeah, it's not a full size field.
They look like grown people and like running.
No,
like grown
that's
people.
That's because it's like literally ratioed down to the size. Truthfully,
that's
like
so interesting.
Because the MLB, the Major League Baseball fields are 66.5 inches or 66.5 feet. Yes, it's like 66 feet or something like that.
From bases?
From the pitching mound to home plate.
Oh,
that's 60.
Okay.
It's like 66, 62. I don't know. It's in the 60s.
Okay.
That's how far you go, which is not close.
No.
And to be throwing 100 miles an hour straight as hell, I can't even, no way can I imagine that.
Yeah.
The bases are 90 feet.
Okay.
So it's 90 feet. Like that's far.
That's really far.
Little League is 60 feet.
Okay.
You take 30 feet off.
That's still really far.
That's far. That's not close. Like, honestly, I feel like if you recreationally play the sport as an adult, you're fine in a little league field. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need a major league
Yeah,
sized
when they
field.
play like softball and stuff, is that
It's like a high school field, so you don't get quite the same distance. It's not like major league length, but it's
so high
longer.
school is not the same size?
Mm-mm. No, you don't go major league. Well, some do. I think it
Interesting.
depends on the division. I think college is the same as major league. I
I
don't
would
know enough about
assume.
this, so somebody could probably correct
Yeah.
us. But I
That's
know
a lot.
I know that the 90 feet is not close, and when you watch it on TV, you're like, "Pff, that's
They
easy."
should have made that.
No, dude, 90 feet. That's so far.
Also, Mookie throwing from right field to home
Dude, that's like
that is so far.
that's got to be like it's okay. So it says the feet on it's 400 feet from it's longer than a football field from the wall to home plate.
What? Are you sure about that?
A
Football
field
fields look so big.
is 100 yards.
Oh,
100 times 3 is 300 feet. So
whoa.
300 feet. So Mookie is throwing from end zone to end zone, basically, just perfectly every time.
See, this is a great example. He is one of the smallest guys on the team,
5'9".
and he can throw that baseball.
Amazing.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave. We're gonna leave with one little fact on how I am as a competitor,
Okay.
and I am pretty sure my family has told you this story. If they haven't, this is a new one for Nicole too. So in Little League, let me go back to, I think it was T-ball. So Little Taylor, and this really might shed some really good light on how I am as a individual and a competitor, and how well I do working on a team.
Okay.
Maybe not the team part, maybe more the direction. So I hit the ball, right? Did
Great.
good. Yeah, pretty sure it was off a tee. Pretty sure we hadn't like taken the ball off of stationary
That's hard
yet.
enough.
No, not if you know how to do it.
Actually, I've never done that.
It might be hard for you. So did that, and my whole family's in the stands yelling, "Run, Taylor, run!" And I look back, I give them the like, "You think you can tell me what to do right now? What do you think this is?" I strut walk so good to first base. You can't tell me what to do.
That's it.
You can't
You
tell
just
me what to do.
walked.
Just walked. Confident, chill.
Head up.
Head up. I hit it. I'm good. You can't tell me what to do.
Amazing.
That is Taylor as a competitor.
I respect that.
That's me.
Yeah.
Honestly, explains so much.
It does. Whenever we see a video of like Little League or T-ball, like the boy like dancing like up to the plate or whatever, like he has his moves, his walk-up song.
Man,
and
I
like,
wish I had a walk-up song.
Oh,
I wish that was popular when we were kids.
that I would choreograph that.
Just a little like hips moving, doing dance moves.
The best.
So good. I
That would be
probably,
me.
as a kid, I would have been mortified.
Yeah.
Absolutely mortified.
Yeah. We were opposite types of children.
Than we are now, or you would not have been mortified as a child to dance to the
For
music?
that, I would not be mortified. Like me as a human, I'd be very shy. But the moment like I was supposed to do my dance, I would be all over it. Time to shine.
Yeah, I'm not that way.
Hitting the ball, my hand-eye coordination needs some work.
Yeah, not very good.
No, I'll work on it. I'll report back.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Is this where we're wrapping it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to wrap it, or am I going to wrap it?
You wrap it.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. That was weird. If you liked this, if you like us, please like and subscribe. Please leave us a review, a comment. If you would like episodes early, you can sign up on glitterandcatlitter.com or on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.
And let us know what your favorite sports are.
Yes, please do.